Hi, I'm Eric Friedman. I'm the Executive Director of the Mad River Valley Chamber of Commerce, and we are here for our next edition of Tailgate Talks, and I'm sitting here with Tom Spencer, the Program Coordinator for the Steward MRV program. Did I get that right? Is it
Got that right.
Steward?
Steward MRV, yes.
So tell me a little bit about what the Steward MRV program and how it came about.
Sure, yeah. It's been, we're in our fourth year, and it came about during the pandemic when we were seeing an upsurge in people visiting our recreation sites and unfortunately a spike in garbage being left at our recreation sites. So a group of Valley folks got together and put together the program to solicit a group of like-minded citizens to come together and be stewards of our community and keep things clean throughout the valley.
So interesting. You said a group of people came together, but I think this was something that came actually out of the Chamber of Commerce, didn't it?
Yeah, I think
Because
it did.
I'm a little self-serving here, just saying.
Yes. The brainchild here got it started, but it was a group of multiple organizations throughout the valley that came together and put the program together.
So tell me a little bit about like what's involved with it and like kind of the nuts and bolts of what Steward MRV is all about.
Well, Steward MRV is about community leaders stepping up and doing good things in our community. And what's most important to me is that the rest of the community sees this and participates. It goes so far beyond the volunteers as far as importance. And part of the original concept was to create an ethos of stewardship throughout the valley. And that starts with community leaders. And I'm proud to say we have pretty close to 30 of them at this point. And they are
30 volunteers, right?
Yes.
And what do those volunteers do?
They do, each spot is unique, but in essence, they spot check recreation sites. They make sure they keep them clean. If there's anything wrong, they let me know or someone else knows, and we come out and take care of any problems that they may have so that they're pristine and excellent when people come to visit.
So when you talk about the sites, what are we talking about here?
Oh, everything from Warren Falls to Bridge Street to Chase Brook off of German Flats Road. To the Greenway, all the way as far out as Ward Swim Hole in Moortown, and as far down as Warren Falls.
That's really amazing. It's a lot. It's a lot of different sites, a lot of different ownerships, different owners of the particular sites. How challenging is that to kind of coordinate this whole thing? I mean, that's as being that you're the coordinator, so you must be doing a lot of coordinating. So, has that been a challenging thing? What's been the most challenging thing for you?
Certainly the startup was the most challenging, but candidly, once we've got the volunteers in place, they come back every year. They know what they need to do. They fall in love with their spot. They have a sense of ownership in it, which I think is amazing. They take great pride. They show up. They keep it clean. We've gotten to a point now where we've been able to move beyond just keeping it clean, and we're actually doing targeted projects. We did a clean up here at Bridge Street. We had close to 20 volunteers just a couple weeks ago. Last year we did the Travel Eye in Warren, and hopefully next year we're going to work on the Pines.
Yeah, the Pines Rest area over on the Tremblay Road, right?
Right. Yep.
So some people don't know the Travel Eye. Old timers might think of it as the Top Gas, if you're depending on how old you are.
Building.
And tell us a little bit about that site, because for me that really epitomizes how this program works and that the kind of the unintended consequences of things.
Yeah, there's definitely can be unintended consequences in everything, and I think that site in particular just was a great idea, and people put a lot of time and effort into it. But over time, it fell a little bit into disrepair, and it became a little off-putting. And it took a couple community members that got together, and they asked me about it, and we worked together. We cleaned it up. We painted it. Then we worked with the town very successfully. We cleaned up the trees around there, and now you can go back, and I'm pleased to see a nice path there that's been worn down to the river, and cars there on a regular basis.
Yeah, so people are actually using that site now, and that was not something that was done. And interestingly, I know that site is owned by the town of Warren, and I think that this program is funded by the towns as well as by the businesses of the Mad River Chamber, and that's how it's paid for. So I think that as it's developed and as the towns have seen what we're doing, they're a lot more inclined to get involved, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Can you maybe expand on that a little bit?
Well, I think that the participation by the towns, and they look at this as a tremendous value because you've got 30 volunteers out there working collectively to make things beautiful, and that's a win-win for everyone. And the towns have realized that, and they're stepping up, and they appreciate it. And the beauty is we collaborate very well. And when I need something done, like the trees cut down around the travel eye,
Yep.
they did a great job.
Yeah, it's amazing, and a lot of organizations are kind of bemoaning the fact that it's so hard to get volunteers. And I'm really excited to have you talk a little bit about the retention rate of your volunteers. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
I haven't researched this thoroughly, but if memory serves me correctly, we've lost one volunteer since I started that, and that's because they moved out of the valley. The last 2 years, we've had a 100% return rate. So,
That's got to be a testament to you, Tom.
No, I think that's a testament to the valley. I got to be candid with you. This valley is unique. The sense of community here, we all know, is special. And the volunteers, people want to do it. Someone just needs to organize it. But they will come, and we proved that at Bridge Street.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm most proud of with the chamber is that creating something like stewardMRV is not your typical Chamber of Commerce thing. But I think as a business community, we really recognize that our outdoor resources are the most important reason that people come here. And we're sitting in this beautiful spot right now, right? And it's kind of an incredible thing. So one of the other things I want to mention was we'll get some video of this up on here, but the portalettes and the garbage pickup. Can you talk about that element of the stewardMRV program?
Yeah, it's probably the most challenging aspect of it. It's much needed. We need these, and we put them strategically in places that do have a high impact by foot traffic, Bridge Street being one of them. The garbage receptacles come with unintended consequences.
We know.
From animals to illegal dumping to just overflow. It's a tough thing to manage, but each year we get a little bit better. And this year with the portalettes, we brought in a new vendor that's an environmentally sound way of dealing with the waste, and proud to bring that to the valley.
Yeah, Wasted's been great to deal with, haven't they? And tell us a little bit about who's doing the trash and recycling pickup. Because it's not just trash, it's recycling also, right?
That is correct.
Oh, are you not remembering Russell's name?
Russell and Son.
Yes. Yeah, they took over this year, and they are just so on top of it. It's incredible because he'll call me.
Russell 1, 2, and 3. I've watched him come right in here to Bridge Street, and Russell number 3 jumps out and he checks those cans on a regular basis. And if there's a problem, they take care of it. So we've really, this year has been our best year, and Russell and Sons has certainly played a big role in that.
Yeah, no, it's so great to see, and just sitting here right by Bridge Street, which is, people think of this as a park, right? But it's not. It's a collaboration between a private landowner owns part of this, the town owns part of it, the condo association for the Bridge Street businesses own part of it. So it's kind of challenging to wrangle that, right?
It's actually very challenging. Everyone is extremely well intended, but they've got competing interests, and there isn't really an entity that's organizing all of them together. So that was just another.
Well, now there is, right?
stewardMRV stepped up. We brought them together. We got them in the same room, and we made some really good things happen.
Yeah, and again, and it seems like every time, each year, as this program keeps going along, kind of new, interesting things happen. And I thought one of the most really coolest things that I've seen happen recently was the recent workday that you organized here on Bridge Street. Can you speak about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, we got together. We put it out to various entities throughout the valley. It wasn't just stewardMRV. We managed the process, and we had volunteers from many organizations show up, from the Mountain Gardeners Club,
Rotary
from
Club,
the Rotary
right?
Club.
Yeah.
They showed up, and we had about 15 people here, and we worked for 3.5 very hot and sweaty hours, but we got a lot done. And then we were fortunate enough to walk over to the VG, and Tal over there put together a really amazing smoked chicken barbecue.
Yeah, right on their fancy new deck, right? That's pretty slick.
It really was nice.
I think we got to do a tailgate talk over there one of these days. I bet if we do that, we'll get a free creamy, maybe, right?
Absolutely. They got new mint creamy over there.
What?
It's pretty special. Yeah.
I haven't had the mint.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, so we can go on and on about creamies, right? Me and you.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. As I'm looking around here, I'm looking at the portalettes and the garbage cans. They're perfectly clean. They're serviced. I'm looking around here. I can't see a single gum wrapper or anything around here. it's really remarkable. And I think that, if people see a nice place and it's clean, they're a hell of a lot more likely to not litter, right?
Yeah, well, certainly I've learned a lot, and we have a saying that if they find it clean, they keep it clean. I think we've proven that that's true. I think that our goal of creating an ethos of stewardship throughout the valley is clearly working. At the inception of the program, we used to report back and measure how much we took out because we would take a ton of garbage out. And then there was the epiphany one day when I was loading my truck. I'm like, there's just nothing here. And I realized, wait a minute, this is a different unit of measure. Now we actually gauge our success on how little garbage. And because if we're taking a little bit of garbage out, that means people are doing their good deed. They're being stewards of our environment. They're cleaning up. They're leaving it clean.
No, it's really amazing how in 4 years how this program has truly created an ethos. We use that word a lot. Yeah. It's like a college word for us, right?
I look it up.
But it is like people really get it, and it's working. And of all of the things that we've accomplished at the chamber, and the ideas that have come out of our organization, this is the one I'm personally most proud of because it's really it's just so exciting to see it really working. And just looking out here right now and seeing these people enjoying the river and not encountering garbage and all that stuff. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Tom, we can kind of end with this, but how did you become the program coordinator? Because this is a lead-in question because I know, but it's an interesting story how you got involved, right?
Yeah, well, I landed in the valley somewhat unexpectedly. I was, really searching for things that brought me joy and purpose, and I volunteered as the steward for Warren Falls. I did that for a year.
In year one, right?
In year one, I was right there, and then I saw an ad in the Valley Reporter, an article about the VOREC grant that you guys got, and I was like, I'd love to help with that. And that's when I called Eric and said, Eric, can I help in any way? He said, well, not yet with VOREC grant, but do you have any interest in running this program? And I think I said, yep.
Yeah, it's awesome, and the fact that you were one of the original volunteers the very first year gives you some insights into what's needed. And this, I think, when we started the stewardMRV program, we had 7 or 8 sites, I think, and 8 or 10 volunteers, and you've done an amazing job building it up to 30 volunteers, 25 different sites
with about 30 volunteers, yes.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Tom, thank you so much for your time and all your efforts and making the Valley a better place.
I love it here.
You're the king, my friend.
Yeah,
take care. Oh, I think you've earned yourself a beer now.
Nice.
Enjoy.
All right.
Take care. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the tailgate again real soon.